Chapter 9. Teach how to keep the Sabbath day holy. Almost all of us have one or more sacred places, places where at earlier points in our lives we had warm, happy, memorable experiences. We love to go back to these places. I have several. One is the Jordan River in the Rose Park neighborhood of Salt Lake City. When I was 13, my brother Elliot, our friends, and I built kayaks, and we spent our teenage summers plying up and down the Jordan River. I love the Jordan River as it flows through Rose Park. Another sacred place is the Queen's College of Oxford University in England. Against all odds, I received a Rhodes Scholarship, and it was there, as a graduate student studying late at night on the third floor of Drogheda Hall on High Street, that I learned for certain that Jesus Christ lives, that the Book of Mormon is true, and that His gospel actually has been restored to the earth. Whenever time allows on my trips to Salt Lake, I walk along the Jordan River, and memories flow by, washing clear my concerns. Though I return to England less often, always I try to return to Oxford, where I sit on a bench on the other side of High Street, to remember the spirit that came into that room and changed my heart forever. I always leave Oxford with my spirit cleansed. This description of sacred places, I hope, will put my comments in this chapter in context. In the two previous chapters, I asserted that the reason why many investigators don't follow through with their commitments to read, ponder, and pray is that we haven't taught them how to do these things. I pose a similar concern in this chapter. When people don't follow through with their commitments to attend church, it often is because they have never been to a Mormon worship service before, and they actually don't know how to do it. And if they come, the meetings often inadvertently happen to them, as if there isn't anything we or they can do about it. I'd like to suggest 3 things we might do differently. These and other ideas to respond to the specific needs of the investigator can be discussed and planned using the progress record as part of missionary coordination in Priesthood Executive Committee, Ward Council, and other planning meetings. First, we can schedule meetings with our investigators in a church building before they come to Sunday services. Give them a tour of the building and tell them what goes on in every place. Sacrament meeting, Relief Society, priesthood meeting, primary, and so on. They need to know that the church building itself won't be intimidating. In fact, we want them to feel that the church building is a sacred place, because people like to return to places that they consider sacred, places where they know they will feel good. This means that when we meet with them in the chapel, the missionaries need to teach them a wonderful lesson. We need to help them have a great experience with the Spirit in the building. Although there are a lot of elements in conversion that are beyond our control, having a wonderful experience at church is not one of them. To illustrate that we can predictably have great experiences in church, here is an email that I sent to about 10 of my friends in our ward a few months ago. Dear friends, as you may know, our missionaries, Christine and I, have been studying the Gospel with Bill Skelly. He is making extraordinary progress. Bill was the chairman of the Board of Selectmen in Belmont when we were working to get the permits required to build the temple, and Bill was very helpful in making sure that the hearings were fair. Bill has agreed to come to our fast and testimony meeting this Sunday. I'm not in a position to tell you what to do, but if you feel inspired to do so, please include Bill in your fast this Sunday. And if you feel so inclined in the meeting, I'd be grateful if you could offer your testimony so that Bill can feel the truthfulness of what you will say. I am hoping that this meeting of the Belmont Second Ward this Sunday will be the best fast and testimony meeting that has ever occurred since the church was organized in 1830. With my deepest thanks in advance, Clay Christensen. My friends truly fasted, prayed, and testified for Bill Skelly. I simply can say that I feel sorry for all the other members of the church who could not attend this particular fast and testimony meeting in April 2012 in the Belmont Second Ward. I can't imagine there has ever been a better one. Every ward in the church can bring the Spirit into their meetings, but it helps if they know which investigators are coming and what each person needs. Second, think about how many times an investigator comes to church for the first time late, wearing jeans and a t-shirt. He sits on the back row where families with noisy children sit. He looks at everyone else wearing their Sunday best with friends and family and thinks, I don't fit here. Maybe the mistake we've been making is that we invite people to attend church without teaching them how to worship with us, how to get there, what to wear, where to sit, and how to benefit from what occurs. Third, there are 2 commandments at issue here. The first is to partake of the sacrament on Sunday. The second is to keep the whole day a holy day. If an investigator attends church, many of us are prone to spike the football, declare victory, and walk off the field, only to realize later that we haven't crossed the real goal line, which is to keep the Sabbath day holy. Even when investigators feel the Spirit at church, that feeling can quickly dissipate when they fill the rest of the day with unholy activities. We need to teach them how to honor the Sabbath day. We can do this by saying things like, when you wake up on Sunday morning, kneel alone and with your family and pray. Tell Heavenly Father that you're going to church today. Ask for His help so that you'll be able to feel His Spirit as you listen to the speakers and the teachers. When we teach people about the Sabbath, we should not inadvertently teach that going to church is all that is required. I sometimes teach them by reading together Mosiah chapter 13, verses 16 through 19, and then asking questions such as, what are some of the unholy things that people do on the Sabbath day? It is easy to write down a long list. I then ask, what are some of the holy things you could do on Sunday? This is harder, but they need to write those down too. Then I invite them. Will you promise me that this Sunday you won't do any of these unholy things, and instead you'll fill your day doing these holy things?